All right, man. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Football Artist. It's another week in terms of the football rep. We are actually going to check what has been happening in terms of football on the weekend, and as well as recapping what has been happening on it during the week as well. So already we talked about what has been happening during the week. There's a video that you can check it out in terms of what has been happening during the week. But the aim of this video is actually to check it out what has been happening during the weekend now, the games that they were on the weekend, what are the biggest stories that comes on the weekend, some other crazy team getting relegated, before 9 games been played. So those are the things that we need to check it out and remind each other that the football is back, the Premier League is back, and again looking forward for Champions League that is actually coming this coming week from Tuesday to Wednesday as well, all the way to Europa League again. That is all right. What we want to do is just quickly to check it out in terms of the games that been played for this past weekend. We saw Kaiser Chiefs was playing with Malumo Galaxy. They actually drew 1-1. Orlando Pirates as well. They were playing with Polokwane City. They won 1-0. 1-0. I think there was a games that they were suspended because of the story of Royal AM. Royal AM and Sundowns. All these games were suspended. And we saw Cape Town City as well with the Super Sport again playing during I think on Sunday as well. So those are the games that we saw during the weekend when it comes to Premier Soccer League, South African Premier Soccer League, PSL, right? But again, there was a lot of games in terms of international as well. So we're gonna go just to check it out, the international games, how it looks, and what are the results, and then we get to to the topics or to the news that are happening in terms of those games that been already played. All right. So in terms of the overseas fixture that we saw the games that are actually coming. It's Champions League games, knockout stages. Arsenal versus Real Madrid. It's happening on Tuesday. Again, there's a Bayern versus also Inter Milan that is happening on Tuesday as well. But the games that just passed for weekend on Saturday the 5th. Let's check it out on Saturday the 5th. What type of games? Arsenal was playing as well. These are type of games that they were there from English Premier League. Arsenal was playing against Everton, ended up 1-1. Crystal Palace and Brighton 2-1. Ipswich and Wolves 2-1 as well. West Ham and Bournemouth 2-2. Aston Villa and Tottenham Forest 2-1. They even the odds we're still talking about Aston Villa, but that's where people they get their hearts separated. Some they were saying Tottenham Hotspur, some Nottingham Forest. Some they were saying Aston Villa because of Nottingham. They're sitting at number 3 behind Arsenal, so they've been playing very very well. Anton Elanga been playing really really well for this season. I mean, coming from Manchester United, jumping to Nottingham. I mean, they are all Man United group, under Man United group in terms of the stock price on the stock market. But again, it's Nottingham Forest and versus Aston Villa. Aston Villa have been playing very well, been playing well in Champions League. They actually have a game again that will come maybe on, I think, on Wednesday against Paris Saint-Germain, and we're waiting again to see. That's a big, big, big game for Aston Villa again this season. So these are the games that actually play in terms of Arsenal. We feel like Arsenal, they lost the opportunity. They could have taken advantage for that opportunity of Everton, and win that game, because after we saw what happened on Sunday, we're like, come on. If we could have take that advantage, that could be a different story, because what happened, what we see on Sunday, we saw Fulham versus Liverpool. Fulham beating Liverpool 3-2. They were actually leading 3-1, but they come back actually to lead 3-2. So that's what we see when it comes to Liverpool. Tottenham versus Southampton 3-1. Southampton losing there. Manchester United and City ending up a draw 0-0. The biggest one, the saddest one at the Southampton, getting relegated with the 7 games in hand. And the biggest, saddest story there on the Southampton is the player called Aaron Ramsdale. Aaron Ramsdale was playing for Arsenal. He's been playing for over a couple of seasons. The way he was playing for all the different leagues and cups, Champions League, Premier League, FA Cup. He was playing, he was starting, But again, Arsenal as a team that gradually trying to grow and trying to break the records and trying to break the limit to where they were a couple of seasons ago and take it to the elite again back. What Mikel Arteta said or decided to start, boosting the team from the goalkeeper to defense and all the way entire team. So they started on the keeper. He announced it that he's gonna bring a new keeper so that both Aaron Ramsdale and the new keeper they can compete for the space for a place, which is there's no problem about that. Which is any team does do that. It's a normal thing. But just because Aaron Ramsdale is an English international, he plays for England, there was a lot of media noise talking a lot of nonsense. He cannot sit on a bench. He's the number one goalkeeper for Arsenal and so on. Then Arteta came back and said that okay, both they are actually number one. We'll see which one is gonna have a good games and surpass another one, right? But now David Raya brought from Brentford United. He started the games. Few games that he started, he was playing really, really well. Arteta didn't change because he's playing very good, which is any other team or any other coach does. They don't just jump and change for anything as long as the player is performing and the results are there. Clean sheets are there. You can check it out, the stats of David Raya yourself, you guys, if you want to check it out. Very, very, fantastic goalkeeper. Now Ramsdale decided to say that, hey, you know what? I need to look for the game time. I need to go and where I can get a game time and be able to play again. Because if I don't play, I'm not going to get selected to play for England. So I need to get back again on playing. But again, recently we saw he was selected again to England squad. He was there on a bench, second keeper to number one at England, which is very good. But the sad part that comes to that is that the team that he was, sold to, it's Southampton, right? Which is his childhood team from the beginning, but it was just a team that get, promoted from Championship, getting to the Premier League. We saw even the last game of Championship, Southampton when he was playing, Aaron Ramsdale was there wearing like a Harry Potter type of vibe, celebrating the Southampton because it's his childhood team, getting to Premier League. So fast forward, Ramsdale went to Southampton. They played yesterday. It was their, a game that a do or die game. They lose, they're out of the league. They win, they still have more chances and to see with other teams how they're going to perform. So that's a story of Southampton and a side story of Aaron Ramsdale coming from that, and yesterday they were relegated after get beaten by Hotspurs 3-1. It shows that somebody can be, good or a hero in a 1 minute, and another minute someone can go all the way down, right? We saw even locally the story of a young player coming from, young player signed for Sundowns. He was not playing, loan him to, the lower division team, play a little bit there before they finish, call him back to Sundowns, starting playing really, really well. Going to the Champions League, Africa CAF Champions League, playing there, win the CAF Champions League, have the medal, go to the Club World Cup with Peter Mosimane, come back playing the World Cup with experience, and now sold to Brighton United. I'm talking about Percy Tau. That's a story of Percy Tau. This thing that happened in a season and a half. The movement of Percy, a season and a half to the second season, he already gone to Premier League. Same thing if you look at it, Aaron Ramsdale was playing on the Champions League, FA League, FA Cup, Premier League. Arsenal sitting at number two for three consecutive seasons at the moment. You know, he was sitting at very in a good stage. Of course, even the price of himself as well. The price was really high. Couple of months later, he want a game time because of this new player come. So to Southampton getting relegated. Now he needs to find another team that will stay in the Premier League or in elite football, so that he can maintain his standard of of player, and as well as standard of being called to England. So that's the story and the sad story about football. When the coaches are saying that football can kill you real death, real death. They were talking about this type of stories, crazy stories when it comes to football. But again, we said the biggest one that we are looking forward is for this week, Tuesday, Champions League that is coming. Arsenal versus Real Madrid, Bayern Munich versus Inter Milan. We saw the tactics of Arsenal during the weekend, not starting the key players like Bukayo Saka, Martin Eli, and Odegaard as well. Not starting it, all of them they come after half time, trying to save these players so that they can be able to play on the Champions League. We saw again on the Real Madrid, not starting a lot of players, Luka Modric was actually on the bench. Vinicius Junior, they pull out around 60 something minutes. There was not really that strong team that he was playing versus Valencia on weekend. All of this is a tactic of saving the players to have full faith when it comes to Tuesday. So Tuesday, it is the crash time. It is the biggest one when it comes to the football games. It's Arsenal versus Real Madrid. Arsenal versus Real Madrid. But anyway, let's check it out again. The local stories, the updates in terms of Bafana story that they were supposed to get deducted points from eligible player that imposed for the game of Lesotho. And again, the story of the violence of the player of the supporters of Esperanza from Tunisia. And let's see that type of story and what's the update and how the story is going. Bafana, and then we're gonna go to Esperanza game. What has been happening? So when it comes to Bafana, remember we talked about it for a couple of videos that Bafana, they were actually they are supposed to get deducted points by FIFA from eligibly putting the player that has 2 yellow cards. So if you have a 2 yellow card in a game, you're not supposed, you are offered a ban of 1 game. So the game with the Bafana and Lesotho, Bafana was not supposed to actually use the player Teboho Mokoena, right? It was not used there. But now there's a rules in terms of how you complain these issues, right? There's a rules how you can actually complain on this. So the FIFA rules says you have to complain in 24 hours when the game just after the finish of the game, in a period of 24 hours. If you have any other complaints of the game, referees, eligible players, some delaying tactics of whatever that you think it was unfair game, you need to complain it in a period of 24 hours, right? Now, Lesotho didn't know that Tebza, who was not supposed to actually play. So they passed the period of 24 hours. Nigerians now, they come because of these guys. They are, gangsters. They're like, Lesotho, guys, the Bafana has just played a player that not supposed to play, an eligible player. Why you guys didn't complain to FIFA? When Lesotho, they said, we didn't know anything. What's going on? Is it the case? He said, yeah. Okay, Lesotho took the write a letter to FIFA, but now we hear that FIFA has responded that in terms of they really haven't responded, but the period that they sent The later, it was already above 24 hours in the period of the game. So pretty much Bafana can't survive from that, but we're gonna see how FIFA is gonna come up with that resolution. But Bafana, we're hoping to survive, and I think is they're going to survive with that scandal. Sorry, very sorry for Nigerians, because Nigerians, they think, they're gonna show the other guys that we are gaining on other guys, and now they want to take his space by backdoor, to get into World Cup. Sorry, it's not gonna happen. We're gonna play football, Baba. We're gonna play football. But again, the saddest part that comes to this story is that teams like, or national teams like Lesotho, teams like, Bafana, they don't have this type of stats on their hands at that particular time. It's very sad if they don't have that type of stats at that particular time. That means, hey, we are available. You can hire us. We capture the data, save the data for you, and show you the data. What I believe is that each and every club or a team or a country team, they need to have the data analyst. His job is to collect and save the data and to analyze the data of the teams that they're going to play. So, for example, you're on a group stages, right? Four teams, you're there. You're playing Lesotho, Nigeria, Zimbabwe, and you, Bafana. What do? You have a data analyst who analyze all these teams. Team number one, Lesotho. How many players they have been selected for that squad? Or they are in entire that squad to play. Where are they playing? Each player indicated which club is playing. Each player indicated if he had a yellow card, red card in the past 2-3 games. Each player indicated if he had injured in past 3 months. Each player indicated in terms of performance wise how they perform, and the ability, the strong ability of the team, and the weakness of the specific player. All the player, one sheet, one club, done. You go to another club, same thing. Player for Knowledge Musona, Kama Billiard, okay, Knowledge Musona, how many yellow cards does he have for national team in past 3 months or past 4 games? How many red cards? How many injuries has he accumulated? Or what is his strong ability in terms of playing to club level or to country level, right? What are his weaknesses? Then we go to another player like that. Data capturing, collected, and analyzed. If the teams, they don't have that and they can't, we are here. We understand this internet stuff. We can hire us, take us. You can be the data analyst, getting the data for you, analyzing the data, and giving you by the day that you are playing or you're preparing for a game, so that you know that Tebza has played for this period. He has these yellow cards. He's coming from that injured, that type of injured. These are where you find the pockets to create chances for yourself, for you to be able to actually win the games. So that's another sad story coming from that. I feel like, really, clubs and teams in Africa, especially national teams, they should really be serious about these things. Get the guys, get the young guys like us to jump in, and to show you guys that, although we haven't played the game itself, but we love the game. We understand the game. We know where the game is going. We know the different paces. We know the reason why players in the English Premier League, they're getting so much injured. It's because of the pace of the game has adjusted to a different level. We understand these things because of we watch, we follow, we analyze, we research about the football. But that was the saddest story. Coming on a different story, it was the story of Esperanza, team that comes to Sundowns in Pretoria. They started the violence after the end of the whistle, and now Esperanza, they're the ones who are launching a complaint to CAF. I was surprised. How is this thing working now? These guys that come here after the game, they start violence and destroying the things in the stadium. And then they're the ones, their supporter gets saved by the support of Sundowns, and then they're the ones who are actually complaining, saying that, hey, they started their violence. So following the Sundowns 1-0 victory over Esperança at Loftus Stadium in Pretoria, the first leg of CAF Champions League quarter-final, violent crashes erupted between supporters. The chores began shortly after the final whistle, with Esperança fans initially initiating the confrontation of the stands. Esperança supporters were seen breaching barriers, engaging in physical altercations with the Sundowns fans, and damaging a stadium infrastructure. Security and the police struggled to contain the situation, leading to injuries among the fans, right? Esperança supporters sought refuge on the field, and the police later escorted them out of the stadium. A few injuries. Esperança fans received the medical treatment near the grass road. So Esperança confirms the fans hospital hospitalized. Stable, a notable Sundown supporter was seen assisting an Esperança fan who nearly fell from the grandstand. However, in a statement, Esperança claimed that their fans were imposed to a violence in Pretoria and confirmed that they will file a complaint with the CAF regarding the incidents. But these are Esperança fans that they started this thing. Of course, I was not at the stadium. We were just watching, and we think these are Esperança fans who started. I mean, according to the visuals that we saw, clearly it looks like it's Esperança fans jumping for their stand, going to Sundowns fans, starting vandalizing the stadium, pulling up the banners, trying to break the chairs and so on, right? And again, if Esperança they file to CAF, I mean, I don't know, we don't know how CAF has to investigate. But my concentration here is CAF. CAF really have to investigate how North African teams are playing and supporters behave, right? Because this is not the first time that the North African team play with any other team, not only South African, any other team. And then at the end of the game, they will add the violence. There will be the violence day, right? That's not how we play football. That's not how we want the football to be played, especially here in Africa, especially for CAF Champions League. We believe in this Champions League. We want this Champions League to grow and to, bring a lot of investors, tourist attraction, and so on. But now, if they go all the way and do all these tactics, it's not gonna work. There's a tactic number one that they actually do, North Africa teams, delaying tactics. Right? Delaying tactics. That's the North Africa ones. They will delay, throw themselves down, cause some crazy injuries and so on, so that they can just delay the tactic and wait for you guys to go to their ground, right? To their home. Now, what they do at their home, number one, they will have the razors. The razor, they will be directly to the keeper. We saw the game of Al Aija and Orlando Pirates, directly to Sipo China. He couldn't even see. But again, the football has to be played. Another thing that they do when they're at home, a lot of smoke machine are being used to produce lots of smoke, in a way that how you gonna play football when there's a smoke like that? How you gonna see each other even in the stand? How you gonna see the game itself? It's just the tactics to make you fear, scared, and you end up losing the game. That's the tactic that these guys use when it comes to the North Africa football. So CAF need to investigate this thing. I mean, there's East Africa also, they use their delay tactics, like putting in a not good bus, giving you a messed up transportation system, taking you to a crazy hotel, giving you a food that maybe it's gonna cause a little bit of problems with your stomach and so on. So that we saw it mostly on the north, but not on the violence, not on the vandalizing the stadium, smokes and razors, to directly pointing at the players. That doesn't happen a lot in a East Africa or the southern of Africa. But in North Africa, they have their own tactics, and that's CAF need to investigate. CAF need to find out this, need to investigate, and they need to put a ruling. Not just investigate, a ruling on that to say that no more this and that. If the team and the fans do this, they're gonna be punished in this way. It has to be in a black and white ruling that every team in Africa need to understand when they jump in a CAF Champions League. So yeah, man, that's what has been bothering me in terms of Bafana, in terms of this Esperanza issue and Sundowns. But mostly, I'm putting all these to CAF. It's been very long time. This thing has been happening for years and years, and you cannot tell me CAF can't see it, and you cannot tell me that CAF does saw that and they took that as a part of the game. That's not part of the game. So please, CAF, do something. Dr. Patrice Motsepe, please help us to fix this game. We need this game. We have players like Jimmy Carragher disrespecting us because of this type of stuff that we do. So we need to fix our things so that things can be better. We fix our shit, then we're good. Then no any other player will be disrespecting us or disrespecting the Africa football. So that's it. That was on my mind, man. All right, man. Thank you very much for actually watching Football at It. And yeah, we talk about the different stories that we pull up on this video. We talk about Africa Cup, in terms of CAF, and we're pleading to CAF to actually help us to fix this violence when it comes to fans and football in Africa. Again, we talk about the administrative of the games in terms of the game analysts, for countries, for team like Lesotho to miss, that particular chance that they could have maybe gained their points from there just because of they don't have data, and the data analyst to be able to analyze this is a challenge that needs to be fixed.